So today we are going to start with the did we must still answer or mark that case study, am I right? On page 22. Just find my two. Why is it downloading now? Okay, we must still mark the activity 2.3 on page. No, it can't be that one. Yeah. Should be that one. Yes. 2.3. Okay, there was a case study. Activity 2.3. We did that one. No, we didn't do that one. Okay, I think I said we will just share this one quickly. Okay, we were here at this slides. Yes? Someone in room 12, just answer me quickly. Or 13, doesn't matter, room 12. One of you can sit there in the front as well. Then you don't have to wait for Tabo to unmute. Because you can't attend both, no? Okay. Room 12, 13, is this where we ended? Okay. Let us start with the personnel planning. Personal planning. So personal planning is then part of, on page 43, this is then where we're going to start today. Okay, so this is then where you manage actually your time as well as you plan to manage your personal life. So this is where you take your priorities and your daily activities and then prioritize that into how your life schedule. Remember, we spoke about the balance yesterday. All right, so the first thing that we're going to have to look at that is very important, that is then time management. So with time management, as I always like to say, time is like money. When it's gone, it's gone. You'll never get it back again. So that is why it's very important to actually use it efficiently. You need to look at your personal and manager roles and also your tasks related to that. We will mainly focus then as a manager on quadrant 2. Can you still remember what quadrant 2 is? Let's go back to page 38. And that is then where you look at stuff that is not urgent, important, but not urgent. So those things are normally your time wasters. Did you read through page 39? I hope so, because that is what I asked you to do as well. Okay, so the time that you actually spend on things that might also give you a problem with balancing your life. Efficient planning system. Here you have to have or follow a few steps to then make sure that you work efficiently. And that is to identify and understand the tasks that you need to do to achieve your personal goal. We're on page 45 now. Then determine the actions that you need to take to achieve these goals, and then the activities that you have to do on a daily basis or then weekly basis. Your prioritization, so look at matters, what is urgent, what is important, what is urgent and important. And then obviously we'll start with that. Schedule an appointment or off appointment so that you don't waste time on people maybe taking more time of you up that is necessary. Keep in mind the principles for personal motivation that we've also discussed yesterday, the 7 habits. Okay, next one is then motivation for motivating your workforce. This is on page 47. What gives you and keep you motivated and focused on your personal and also your work goals? Now, we spoke about that yesterday where we said that you have to have goals set. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. If you don't have set goals, you don't have anything to work towards. Okay, so what is motivation? Is an internal drive or desire that individuals have to extend themselves, so to improve themselves or to get themselves to actually set the to be in a situation where you actually achieve your goals. People differ, so that is why their motivation will also differ. Okay, then the next one, method of improving your motivation. How can you then motivate yourself? Which methods can you use? We're going to look at 3 theories. The first one is the Herzberg theory, where they specifically focus on the job and the working conditions that you are on. Then the Likkert's theory, that is where they focus on the influence of various management styles. And then the third one is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. This is where they focus then on the different levels of personal needs. And the last one, the Maslow one, you've done in communication last semester. And this is then also part of your motivation because you had to then complete the one step before you can actually go on to the next. Okay, so Herzberg, this is important, obviously. Make sure that you understand and know the difference between them. Herzberg theory, there's 2 factors. It is a 2-factor theory where we actually look at the focus that is on the job and the work conditions, and then how to distinguish between motivation and also hygiene factors. Now, if you look at this specifically, the hygiene factors, they are then, they do not motivate the employees, but that is actually part of the factors to be inadequate and also that cause dissatisfaction. Motivation factors, exactly what it says. This is where you look at the factors that are based on individuals' needs for personal growth. And within these, we have also factors of actively create job satisfaction. So this is then effective. If they are effective, they will motivate and then also help you to achieve your performance or then your goal that you have set. Okay, so the hygiene factors, what are they? That is the job satisfaction ones. That is then the ones that will, sorry, this is a mistake. This one is dissatisfaction. This slide is not correct. The hygiene factors are dissatisfactions, not satisfactions. Okay, I'm going to remove this one later. All right, let me just delete it now. This is then the wage or the salaries and status. Security, work conditions, benefits, also policies and rules, and then interpersonal relations with co-workers. Whereas we have the motivational factors, the ones that satisfy job satisfaction. This is a meaningful work, also changing work, recognition for accomplishment, feeling of achievement, increased responsibility, opportunities for personal and professional growth and promotion, and then the job itself. Okay. There's more practices that we can, or application in practice that we're going to look at. What indicates the demotivational employee in a business? Low productivity, poor production or service quality, and also strikes, industrial disputes and breakdowns in employee communication and relationships, and then also complained about pay and working conditions. Everything is always wrong. Okay, so if we look at the job rotation here, periodically move workers from one specialized job or position to another one. And then the job enlargement, that is motivational factors, increase the number of tasks and also the complexity of the task, and that will then help the employee to perform these needs that they have. Then the job enrichment, attach additional task, or then authorizing to employee's position or role. Then the Likkert's theory, page 50. This is where we do research on how the different management styles can affect people's motivation. So he found that some management styles are more motivational than others. Okay, so here we have the exploitative authoritative system. That is the first one. This is where there's little communication and teamwork. Management imposes its decisions on the employees and motivates employees using fear-based motivation. So this one is an unfair, the method takes unfair advantages of workers because they're scared, they will just do their job. Then the next one, benevolent or the authoritative system. This is where there's little communication and teamwork with emphasis on the rewards rather than the punishment. And this is then where there are managers who will take charge of the organizational decisions because they have to then look at the productivity of the business. And this method treats workers like children who know nothing. Okay. Then the next one, the consultative system. There are some communication and a little teamwork, where the managers then take employees' ideas into account. They do not feel personally responsible for the company's goal or the direction in which it's heading. So the workers are encouraged to give their opinion and comment on development. Okay, then the last one, participative group system. This is good communication and cooperation teamwork. It involves all the employees in achieving the organizational goal and solve problems through teamwork. So the method allows workers to feel that they are part of the business. So which of these four do you think are the best ones to actually implement in a business? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 1. 1. No. Okay. 4, definitely. Yes. Okay, definitely 4. 1, no, man, you don't want to work under someone that causes fear the whole time. No, that you are scared of. That's not the ideal situation. Okay, next up is then Maslow. Do I have to say anything about Maslow? And you still remember?
Yes.
So they focus on the individuals, and then important here is that you have to complete the lower level of needs, which in this case is the physiological need, before you can move on to the next level. No? Can you still remember that one? Okay, some people have this a bit messed up. I think your generation messed up Maslow quite a bit because you are okay with the physiological need, but then you go to the third level and then maybe only the second level and then maybe the fourth one and maybe never the fifth one. Or do I have it wrong? Do you agree with me?
No.
No. Okay. Do you follow these levels?
No, you don't follow the list.
Yeah, exactly my point. Okay. Thank you, guys. So let us look at, yes, room 13.
Excellent much.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so let us look at how we can then the importance of motivation, motivating your workforce. Okay, so this is on page 52. So the company will benefit from any workforce that is motivated because there will be an increase in productivity. The employees will be more committed. There will be improved employee satisfaction, and this will then lead to the growth of the company. There will also be a decrease in staff turnover. You know what staff turnover is? Okay. Okay, so staff turnover, what is it? Okay, so staff members come and go. Am I right? Room 12, you want to add something there?
This one. Productivity of the staff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes. Okay. So the decrease in staff turnover will then lead to lower training and recruitment costs. Because remember, every time when a staff member leaves, it means that the new person must be trained again. And that costs money to get people trained, to set them on a course or send them to a course. And that is unnecessary if the staff are satisfied with their job. So lower level of absenteeism, and then also positive image from the for the company. So this will then enable it to create the best workers, recruit the best workers. Okay, then happy and motivated workforce. They reach the objective that they've set, and then motivates employees who are then committed to improve the product quality of the customer service. Okay, next up is in teamwork that we're going to look at. What is a team? That is a group of people selected to work together on a specific task or then a project. So teamwork means a group of people who will work together to enable everyone to achieve the goal in an efficient way. Okay, so this is then also the same, more or less the same as synergy. Can you still remember what that is, synergy? That is a combined power of a group of people who then work together to achieve better results than the total of each person alone. So you're not working on your own, but you're working together in a group that actually function very well. So team building, that is also something that is very important. Oh, I've missed steps here. Steps to ensure successful teamwork. I think that is the ones. Step 1, determine the goal of the team. Step 2, identify the role of each team member. That is very important to do that, because if you don't do that, no one is going to know what their tasks are in the group. The step 3 then, make sure everyone clearly understands their roles and tasks. Step 4, delegate the task to people with the right skills. Step 5, accept responsibility for your role. And then step 6, be comfortable with disagreement. Step 7, be supportive in the group, listen to others and give positive feedback. Step 8, have a positive attitude towards challenges. And then the last one, step 9, promote participative management. Okay, then we go to team building. Team building, this is something that is actually very good to do for any business or their groups, and that unites employees in an organization and has many benefits like improved productivity, better communication, build of trust, also more collaborative, better motivation, improved organizational culture, then healthy competition, and also the last one, creative thinking. So this is all very important for any business or company. Next one is the group dynamics. This is on page 55. With group dynamics, we are looking at the way in which people in an organization behave and also react to each other. The team members may then take up different roles in the team. So it might be that it's very funny how this works. If you see certain amount of certain people together, you might then just group immediately, because you know who is who in which structure they actually fit in. So that is then group dynamics. Everyone has a role as well. Team roles. So here we are looking at Belbin's 9 team roles. The first one is the shaper. This is a dynamic person who normally motivates the team to find the best way to overcome challenges. Then the implementer. Maybe you want to identify yourself here, who you are. Implementer. This is the practical person who transforms ideas into plans. The completer, this is the person who focuses on the end product and ensure that the team adheres to deadlines. Next one, coordinator, the person that ensures that everything is coordinated, and normally are the delegators as well. Team worker, the person tries to ensure that the team remains united. So they'll just, if someone says something negative, they'll say, no, man, come on, let us try and do this or whatever. Resource investigator. This team member normally has good negotiation skills. Then monitor evaluator. They have this is the critical thinker who may slow down decision making as he or she has questions to many actions. So they want to answers first before they go to the next stage or step. Specialist, this is the person who has expert knowledge in a particular area or then topic and tends to ignore other experts in their specific fields. Then plant. Although he or her prefers to work alone, this person has many original ideas. Next page, we've got the different roles of the team members. The dominator, the description, they talks too much, and they are controlling people. Shy person does not share ideas or take part in communication. They normally follower only. Avoider, they does not like conflict, avoids work or then confrontation. Blocker or uncooperative person does not cooperate and oppose any idea or all ideas, even good ones. Then degrader tends to be negative towards ideas of others. Recorder, this is the person who will record all ideas and decisions taken. And that is also a person who might be a very good secretary. Compromiser tries to please everyone, and then also focus on a solution that everyone will find acceptable. Okay, that was a lot for this module. There's a summary on page 57, going on to page 58. And then I want us to do, let's see, I think we must do question 3 in section B. Question 3 and question 4. Okay, so that's not that much. Question 3 and question 4. Is that okay? Were you still in a meeting? Could you still see me? Because I lost a bit of your communication here, but it's okay. All right, so question 3 and question 4. We can do that now, please. Okay, guys, let us do this together. Did you read the little case study on question 3? If not, do that quickly. Okay, so explain to Tandi, how can she use the factors listed below to improve her personal motivation in developing her business? Physical, what do you guys say? Okay, she needs to find a balance between the physical and the mental um, situation. So what can she do? She can go hiking when she's off to exercise, and she can spend time in nature. She can go to the gym. She can also join an exercise group, anything in that line. Do you agree? To keep her physically and mentally fit. Okay. Then the mental part. Mental. She can do more research on traditional meals. She can also maybe think about how she can change the decor regarding the business to make it more traditional, or to give it more traditional feeling or atmosphere or vibe. Okay, then the spiritual part. She can meditate maybe. She can join spiritual groups online or in person, or read spiritual books. Okay, anything in that line. All right, then social. She can join a group in the same line of business to share and discuss challenges. She can see a therapist if it is necessary. And she can also join various support groups. Okay, so other business owners that has the same challenge as she does, she can see a therapist if it's necessary, and she can also join various support groups. Okay, so this is how you're going to answer this kind of question. Okay, question 3. Then question 4, sorry, just excuse me. Just need water quickly, guys. I'll be back now. Okay, question 4. Group dynamics can be a useful instrument for building and strengthening communication in the workplace. There are definite roles played by individuals within groups. Discuss any 4 positive roles that individuals may display within a group. Which ones are the positive ones? Okay, shaper. What is positive about the shaper? Yes? There are also the motivators, no? Yes? Okay. Okay, so they will also find the best way to overcome challenges. The shaper. Okay, room 13. If no one is talking, please mute yourself. Good. Then the implementer. This is the practical person. So they will then transform the ideas into a plan. Completer. They focus on the end product and ensures adherence to timelines. Coordinator. They ensures that everything is coordinated and they are also normally good delegators. That is positive, no? Yes. Okay, team worker. This is the person who will try to ensure that the team remains united. Okay, then resource investigator. This is then the team member who normally has the good negotiation skills. So good negotiation skills. Monitor evaluator. This is the critical thinker. They may slow down decision making as they have questions to many actions. So they want to they want answers for the questions of how is this going to be implemented? What are we going to do next? All of those kind of questions. Then the specialists. They are the expert with expert knowledge in a specific area, and they then they will provide the expert knowledge. Plant. They prefer to work alone, but this person also might have original ideas, many original ideas. Okay, this in question 4, 3 and 4. I think tomorrow in class, because we're not complete. No, I don't see you tomorrow. I think we're done for the week, no? Okay. I will put a note here that when we're done with our modules in preparation for team 1, I will just make sure that we work through question 2 as well. Because there's a lot of information here that is more applicable that we might actually then need to work through as well. Do you want to do it now? Together. Yes. Okay. Let us do question 2 then. Okay, read that case study quickly. Then we're going to answer that question. It's only 3 questions. Okay, so let us do number 1 quickly. To achieve her goals, JD needs to manage herself effectively. How can she do this, taking the following into consideration? The other's viewpoint. Okay, so obviously she needs to consider other people's ideas and suggestions. And they can also participate in brainstorming. So 2 facts there, 2 times 2 gives you 4 then, huh? Did you all get that one? Must I repeat it?
We got it.
Okay. 2.1.2, begin with the end in mind. She needs to have a goal to expand the business. For example, more stores in another area close by. And she have to have a vision in terms of where she wants this business to grow within the next 5 years. So a vision for the next 5 years. Okay, 2.1.3, prioritizing. She needs to do things in order of importance. And then the next one there, she also should have a plan to complete a project. So she must set out plans or steps for her to be able to do that. Then question 2, according to Herzberg, management should focus on rearrange work so that the motivation factors can take effect. Discuss this statement by referring to how work can be rearranged in JD's business. Okay, so job rotation. She can move staff from working on the floor to working with the tiles or merchandising. So unpacking stock and working in the stockroom maybe. So job rotation. Next one, job enlargement. So she can maybe move staff from reasonable price section to the exclusive range of furniture so that they can get a better idea here as well. So she can then move staff from the reasonable priced section to the exclusive range of furniture for them to get more specialized, have more specialized selling skills, you can maybe say. Okay, so rearrange staff from reasonable price section to the exclusive range of furniture so that they can gain more specialized selling skills. Okay, last one here, job enrichment. Incorporate a salesperson in the purchasing function, where you can then ask them to advise with exclusive furniture that must be sold. So incorporate the salesperson in the purchasing function, where you can then ask them to advise with the exclusive furniture that are sold. Okay, you ready for 2.3? So writing. Ready? Okay, so 2.3 builds, team building plays an important role in a business for various reasons, include building the morale of all employees. Develop a program for team building, taking the following into account. The duration of program, 6 hours. Also, it must include a specific activity. So what we've got here is a column for time, also topics, and then the individual or the subgroup or the group. So maybe just draw yourself 3 columns here quickly, more or less the same size. First column is going to be time, the next one the topic or the activity, and the last one the individual or subgroups or groups. Okay, so under time we have 8 o'clock. The topic is opening and welcome. And the attendees will be all of them, all the staff, all staff. So 8 o'clock, opening and welcome, and all staff. Then 8:30, explanation of activity. Includes all staff here as well. Then under time, we've got 8:30 until 10 o'clock. Okay, so here you can include any activity related to the job. So salespeople will do any activity related to their job. The cashier will do any activity related to their job. If it is now communication or customer service or anything in that line, that is then what is going to happen here. Okay, so who are involved? Or the groups, that will be subgroups that will participate here. Because you are going to divide them into different groups now. Okay, then from 10 until 1, you might have a sport activity or something fun, some fun activity. Okay, so here they will all be divided in the groups that we've mentioned previously, but they will all be together as well. So all the groups will be together. So all divided into groups, but combined. Okay, the last one, 1 until 2. This is then lunch and prize giving. And this is also including all of them. Must I repeat 10 to 1, room 13? Is that what you asked? Room 13, are you sorted? Yes. Okay, all right. So this is this thing. This is a program then to do team building. I just have a feeling that they might ask you to do something like this. So at least you have a frame here to go on to. Okay, guys, remember after every module, we expect you to go and read through the module as well so that you can just get the knowledge and revise again. No? All right, thank you. You must have a good day. Thank you for attending class, although you are only a few. Have a good day further.